There it is, the Christian Spanish Academy. One more time, on the street. It's just a door with some windows, but boy, once that door opens up, you see a wonderful inside court, and all the action is inside there. Very exciting. It was a 10-minute walk from my hotel, the Hotel Casa Ventura Antigua, to my language school, the Christian Spanish Academy. This is the bad habit I've gotten into in the morning, having this croissant sandwich with egg, the potato bits, and a coffee. And I'm just around the corner from my school, so we'll down the food and go. Now, one more thing about my travel angel. When she heard that I was going to Antigua with the intent of studying Spanish, she immediately told me, well, you should go to the Christian Spanish Academy. Remember, she was very Christian, so her recommendation of the Christian Spanish Academy was rather logical. If you missed the details of my travel angel, I told that story in vlog number 1. This, after all, was my 4th language school, the first 2 in Mérida, Yucatan, Mexico, 2 different schools. Then I went to Oaxaca de Juarez, where I went to 1 school, which was excellent. And now I wanted a one-on-one situation. So this was pretty well perfect for me, except for a few downsides, which I'll talk about later. But there were a lot of positives. You can catch the details of my language study in Mérida and Oaxaca under the Mexico 2024 playlist. I think I have over, 27 videos. Let's have a look at what goes on behind those doors and windows in that beautiful interior court. This is the view that hits you when you get inside, and straight ahead is what to me was maybe the most important part of the thing. There was a coffee bar there. Coffee was the fuel that kept me going. And you can see immediately the one-on-one instructions with people sitting in small pods. I was fortunate to have my instructor and myself sitting up against one of the walls, thereby reducing the amount of noise interference from other groups talking. As you can see here, there were people all over the place. A source of inspiration, I might add. If they can do it, so can you. So that was great. You and the instructor, the instructional books that you have in front of you, the exercises, and the easel with the board, where with a magic marker, the instructor could write anything that you needed to know. Each student was given a grammar book and an exercise book according to their level, and these were published by the school itself. No other language school I went to had their own booklets. The Christian Spanish Academy was originally created to help missionaries with their language needs and skills. However, the school has since diversified to include people from a variety of backgrounds and professions. So no, Christian in this case, even though it's Guatemala, does not mean Catholic. As they say, they teach Spanish regardless of religious views. The schedule of language instructions I selected was 4 hours a day. That's 20 hours for 5 days for a week. The price indicated here is $210 US. At the time that I was there in March 2024, it was under 200 US dollars. I'm from Canada, and at that time the exchange rate was maybe 140. Now it's 150. That makes it doubly expensive. My excellent Spanish language instructor was a young lady by the name of Taimi. Taimi, yes, that's a name in Guatemala. I selected one-on-one for the simple reason that you don't have to sit there and listen to other people talking. It's just you and the instructor. But on the other hand, it's kind of tough because you got 4 hours minus a 15-minute break for that coffee, which was so important. Other than that, you got to perform. I found as the week went on, I became more and more tired. But there was another reason I got tired, and that was the 8 o'clock start. The 8 o'clock start! They got to be kidding! I'm not a morning person. In Mexico, the classes started at 9 or 9:30. 8 o'clock! That's indecent. I also noticed it started to wear on Timey because, believe it or not, she lived an hour's bus ride from Antigua. An hour. So she had to get up around, 5? Take a bus, come to school, teach for 4 hours. And on top of that, she was working on her master's. Man, what a brutal schedule. But I repeat, she did an excellent job, excellent teacher. And I can hear you thinking, well, maybe she got tired because she was teaching an old guy. Well, that might be true, but I won't admit that. I think I did pretty well. Now, it wasn't until I was mostly finished with the course that I realized that it was possible to take classes starting later on in the day, like afternoon. And that would have suited me a heck of a lot better, but I didn't know about that. So if you're not a morning person like I am, take afternoon classes. Another realization that I made after a while was that the school actually spread across the street to another building. And that facility was bigger and more leafier and more nicer, and people were spread further apart. And it had a roof veranda. And it had a modern, spacey washroom, contrary to the two small ones across the street. So inquire about taking your classes in the afternoon and across the street. You'll be better off. Now, one thing I would do every day after my 4 hours of classes is go to the rooftop terrace and work on my homework for about an hour. That was extremely pleasant. The Christian Spanish Academy's administrative office was run by these 4 people, and it was right by the entrance. The lady sitting at the front on the left-hand side was in charge of the whole program, and once a week she would come around, sit down with just she and I, and discuss my progress and my relationship with the teacher and whether I was happy. That was amazing. Now, I did express some reservations, some downsides about my stay here at the Christian Spanish Academy, but they were personal. There's nothing about the school, just my own personal feelings. On the whole, the school was great, and I would recommend to anybody who's looking for Spanish instructions to check in at the Christian Spanish Academy. Another thing that made me happy was almost across the street is the El Viejo Café, or La Panadería. It may have been a French bakery, a boulangerie, but being of German background, I love their pretzels. The pretzels were to die for.
¿Es todo?
Sí, es todo.
I hope you enjoyed these insights into Spanish language study in Guatemala, the beautiful city of Antigua. In the next vlog, I take you on an excursion that we did with the language school into a more rural area, smaller towns that really got into the nitty-gritty of the culture and the beauty.